So today, the theme is grief and loss. Dalai Lama is our featured ascended masters. If you want to learn about him and his amazing life, I recommend this book. I am about a third of the way through it, and as you can see, it's pretty dog-eared. I'm writing a book right now called My Compass with Dalai Lama. I obviously can't say enough about him. He is I think my only living ascended masters I'm working with right now, pretty much. So I get a very good connection from a clairaudience standpoint. He did ask me to slow down my reading. That was his recommendation. So I'm going to read slower today. And I think in general, that's a good recommendation for all our meetings. Gandhi will also be there. And I was a little confused by this yesterday when he showed up, but it makes sense because we began with Gandhi. Gandhi is our narrative ascended master, and a narrative is about the story of our life. And as you recall, Kathleen and Judy and everyone else, that the reflection question for the first recording was, what was the story you were born into? And because grief and loss is so related to story, it made sense that he showed up. So he will be here. He will not be, my guess is he's not going to be talking a lot. So without further discussion, here's the order of today. I'm going to lead us in a meditation. I'm going to read then next from this book by Mark Nepo, the Book of Awakening. I was fortunate enough to see and hear Mark Nepo over 10 years ago at my Oprah Soul Weekend. He was actually the substitute, and whoever was supposed to speak, that's who I was coming to see. And Mark was the replacement, and he just blew me out of the water. He is a Buddhist. He is a poet. So and it just so happens that the meditation I used this morning to center myself is from this book. Then I'm going to go into the actual meditation I wrote yesterday with Dalai Lama. Gandhi's in it. It is not done. They would not allow me to finish my work, and I'm a writer. I'm like a polisher. So I said, why can't I finish it? And Dalai Lama says, the grief and loss of not being able to finish a project. And I was like, perfect. So if I stumble, it's because I'm having a hard time reading my own writing, which Suzanne and Jackie can relate to because they have 25 of my past journals. And sometimes I'm writing so quick because I'm channeling. Okay, that's the order of business. We're going to, okay, two things. Thank you. The mantra. So, Kurt, you're probably not familiar with the mantra, but we begin with a mantra that's very short that I will say slowly. You're going to say this mantra to yourself silently. The mantra allows you and us to connect to their world by the end of it, which leads me to the second thing, which is what is a living transmission? So our recordings are transmissions. Transmission means that we are directly channeling with the world of the masters. That's why it's so important if you get in a bind, if you're going through a hard time, if it's related to a certain topic we covered, I highly recommend you listen again to these recordings because they are living transmission. They will, because they're living, they will automatically connect to whatever is your current circumstance in your life. I hope that's clear. When they reminded me of that this morning, I did a Debbie Brown meditation this morning, which was perfect. Dolly reminded me as I was walking into this room, he said, life is a living transmission. Memories are a living transmission. So anytime we're going back through a memory in our past, it is affecting us in the current moment through a transmission. All right, so I'll leave it at that. We begin with meditation. I highly recommend that you put your feet flat on the ground. You close your eyes and you just relax. If you need to roll your arms back, I'm already sweating, so I know that they're here in spades. And I'll let you know that everything I do has meaning. So I decided to wear my Led Zeppelin t-shirt today of the Zeppelin. So to me, that seemed like perfect grief loss choice. And just relax. So I'm going to begin us. Okay, cleansing breaths. So cleansing breaths are breathing in through the nose, holding a beat, breathing out through the mouth, like you're blowing out a candle. And the ideal cleansing breath, your exhale is longer than your inhale. And I want to hear it. So again. Good. Again. And as you continue your cleansing breaths, Mother Mary is coming in. She is opening the crown of your head. And she's taking out your busy boxes. Those are the boxes in your mind. It might be what you need to get done today. It might be something that wasn't so good that happened yesterday. It's the busyness of our lives that she's removing now. And she's doing a little sweeping, a little vacuuming in the space that remains. And closing the crown. Thank you, Mother Mary. And now the Akasha is in the base, in the back of your head, opening a beautiful wooden door. And the stories of what no longer serve fall out of your cerebellum space. Whew. They're very good. Slowly rolling back that beautiful, beautiful oak door back in its place. I'm just going to be silent for a moment. Breathing in, you're aware of breathing in. Breathing out, you're aware of breathing out. In the Gospel of Mark Nepo, surrender like a duck. Beneath what I try to see is all I need. It was years ago, but I remember it clearly. I was walking along the shore of a lake in the middle of the day, and there in the sun, a good 10 yards out, was a duck curled into itself, asleep. With its slick, tufted head tucked into its body, it bobbed peacefully in the lapping of the water. This little scene undid me, for here was this ultimate lesson in trust. Without any intent or knowledge of itself, this little duck, asleep in the womb of the world, was a deep and wordless teacher. If only we, could surrender this completely to the mystery of life, we would be carried and renewed. It was obvious that the duck would wake and swim its little patterns on the water, but this little creature's ability to let go so completely allowed its time on earth to be filled and saturated if just for a few minutes, with a depth of peace that only surrender can open up to us. Only rarely have I let go this completely, yet those moments of total surrender have thoroughly changed my life. When struck with cancer, I somehow fell from the ledge of my fear and entered the operating room like this little duck. It was this threshold to the other side. When lonely and afraid to reach out, I have somehow collapsed repeatedly into the ocean of another's love, and it has cleansed my weary heart. And in my search now for wisdom to live by, I stumble at times and surrender what I think I know so completely that I find myself adrift in a deeper way that is neither wise nor unwise, but simply life affirming. Keeping your eyes closed, I'd like you to repeat after me to yourself. My heart holds the keys to my desires, my truth, my wisdom, and to my connection. I am picked up by Winslow in front of this home. He has a saddle. I get on Winslow and he takes me to a labyrinth on Iona, off of the mainland of Scotland. Gandhi and Dalai Lama are present. Gandhi throws me the staff and I grasp it, putting it on the ground. He asks me what I need. I look to the head of the staff and I see a fire above the top. It is not connected. Sally. I need inspiration for my talk tomorrow for the explorers. The staff disappears in my hand. Gandhi. What would you like to talk on? Sally. I look down and I see dry dirt with pebbles below my feet strewn everywhere. Sally. I'd like to walk on dirt, soft dirt. The base transforms and below me is soft dirt and green grass is next to our path. Sally. And butterflies, flowers. We begin to walk down a beautiful path together. Gandhi. You will go into your big meeting soon. Why do you just search for gun contacts when you can instead seek speakers who give you joy? With this, Gandhi is referring to where I'm going next week at the Parliament of the World Religions. I'm doing work with March for Our Lives. Back to the meditation. Dali. Let's consider those who can teach you how to expand your leadership, who you admire, who inspires. The purpose is to seek that which brings you joy, ignites your passion. Now, back to our talk. What did you entitle it? Ah, good grief. Why does Winslow have a saddle? What does a saddle mean to you? I look over at Winslow, who is munching on some of the green grass. Sally. It's my training with the masters. A saddle has to do with guilt. I am, quote, saddled with guilt, unquote. It means to me a desire for control. Dali. When you are on a saddle, you are unable to feel the back of Winslow. Is that not true? His support. Grief is about feeling, letting go, giving yourself the permission to let go of what no longer serves you in your life or others. What else does a saddle represent? They get up together and we walk towards Winslow. We look down at his belly and I see now The saddle was never buckled. Dolly, the saddle is an illusion, is it not? The saddle makes you feel safe, even bound on your journey. How much do we have control? Letting go is the key to embracing the concept of impermanence. You have learned from Jesus, one must, quote, feel to heal, end quote. What follows after this wisdom is the letting go. Grieving is necessary. It allows the natural flow of what is. Permission, practice, discipline. This is a worthy feedback loop to embrace. And then let go. His smile expands ever so slightly. And that's the end of the meditation. You can open your eyes.